Hello, my name is Carlos Igreja, and I'm working on a Java application, and I am about to do some refactoring. So I thought, I might make a video, and might be helpful. So um, first thing I want to go over is what this thing does. Basically, I need a method, uh, and I need a path to a document. Okay. So for my needs, I have a folder, I have a path to a folder, and then inside that folder I have a path to the document, and then I have the document name. Now, as you can see, I knew that Windows, uh, I need it to be used for both Windows and Mac, and I know they use different file paths. So uh, I had these two methods originally. But that's been refactored already, so I'll show you how I handle this. So what I came up with is Windows uses backslash for file paths, and pretty much non-Windows uses forward slash for file paths. So I didn't exactly know that. I wasn't sure if there would be, you know, uh, there could be a lot of OS, but apparently, more or less, this is the case. So once I knew that, I said it's either Windows or not. So then that's when I said I can use this Boolean, and so that made, so it says I won't need two different methods or more. Uh, you know, uh, well, I was thinking it would need at least two for backslash, forward slash. Um, so, but yeah, that made things easy once I knew Windows is backslash and every other non-Windows is forward slash. So that's where I said, I could just use this Boolean, and basically, like that, I can determine, maybe with a line of code or two, just which one I need back. Do I need Windows, or do I need this to pass back a string? So I wanted to pass back the path, and do I want it to be in Windows format or non-Windows format? So that's what I came up with there for that Boolean. So that saved me, basically refactoring. So this would have been two redundant methods. So right there, refactoring that, we got it down to one method that can basically do the same thing. So right there, that's essentially how I look at refactoring. So because we don't want the same code in two different methods, if we can, basically that's a good sign. But I'm going to show a very clear, which I find stands out to me whenever I got to copy and paste something. So I have this here, and then I have, well, the path to the folder, and then it passes the path to the document. So I have two paths, and so I go here, I've got this code for the first path, and then now I know I need the same exact code for this other path. And as you can see, exactly what I did, I just went here, copied and pasted it right here, and it's exactly the same code. I haven't even changed the variables. So essentially what I would have to do is copy paste that, Control C here, I'm on Windows, and then it would now do the same exact code for this. So that's a pretty good sign that you can just pass in one path and run this code, and that's that's it. So that's essentially what I came up with, how I'm going to refactor this. So I'm going to get rid of this and just, let's see, and as you can see, it doesn't really matter what path it is, right? So path, and then I don't need this variable, and doesn't matter what path, just pass any path. now this code is reusable, and I haven't finished this, but this is reusable. It's much cleaner. There's no redundant code, so I could pass now wherever I need to call this method. It's a public static, so it should be able to call it from anywhere in the application, and then I could just call it and pass it a path. So in this case, I'll pass it the folder path and get either Windows or non-Windows path returned back, and then I can do that for the document path, and then I can append this document to that, and then I'll have my path to get to the file. If that doesn't work out, I'm thinking it's going to have a class not found. So if that happens, then I can try the either Windows or non-Windows, and then that's just kind of what I'm thinking. So there's one more thing I was thinking of refactoring. So these symbols here maybe have like a constant. So I was thinking you could add it in the class, but this method is going to handle this. So it should be in here, and then this basically this method is just independent pretty much of itself, really. You just pass it a path, the boolean, and it's good. So it's like that. It's not dependent of the class. I don't think I'll need any other methods. This is really the only method that I will be needed to handle the path and correct it. Turn it into a Windows path or turn it into a non-Windows path. And so really, by keeping it in here, it's it's really it's encapsulated basically with it for itself. So you can just call it, and if I want to move this method to, maybe we have a class that handles all these types of things, and it would be more appropriate somewhere else, rather than but yes, just that, things like that to keep in mind. So that's essentially I think I covered everything. Yeah, you want to keep, you don't want to copy and paste in, having to create like the big key here was that this was not reusable. It would have to take that Elle's folder, would have to take that document path. So what if I, later in the future have to work with paths again, but it's maybe something different. It's not this, it doesn't really matter now. You can just pass it the path. It doesn't matter. You can call this anytime we need to work with files and we need to change the path. So now it's reusable, and we don't have like 10 different methods, every time we need, it's very much easier to maintain. So anything, we can just come here with this nice small piece of code. If something's got to be changed, just make like one change. Like I said, even using constants, instead I have to come here and change this one and this one, you can have the constant right here, or the variable, and then just change it, the variable right here, and then it will change it here and here. So if you have something like that going on in an application, that you want to consider things like this for maintenance in the future. So when you got your code working, and then you might want to consider basically just those are some of the ideas that I consider when refactoring. When you're copy and pasting, and the usage of constants, anything that you might set but might be changed, and might be changed later on, and you're using it several places, use that constant, and then if that changes in the future, you can just go change that constant, and you don't have to go every single place in the code to change it. So yeah, things like that for maintenance. It's going to make the maintenance much better, and yeah, so do the refactoring. It goes a long way. Takes a little more time, but this saves a ton of time. Okay, so I actually went and finished, and I'm about done with the refactoring, and went ahead and tested this. So just so now I know it's working correctly. Yeah, so this is pretty much it. Basically, it's one method. And what I did was just for now, refactoring can always occur, but as of right now, I feel it's refactored to where I want it for the moment. In the future, it could change, but right now, I have this class FilePathFormat, and then it has this method convert, and I also changed this the boolean to 2 windows. So what this does is convert a path either to a Windows format or basically any non-Windows format. So it's either to a Windows format or a non-Windows format as the 2 options, and that's all it does, take the path and the 2 windows. So I did go ahead and use the constants like I mentioned. So that's how I implemented that. We have an f/ and a backslash. We're gonna get the path, so that path is gonna have some type of slash. So if it has the /, get all the directories between the /, and then we'll store that in this directories array or dirs array. And then we can use that. If it's not a /, if it doesn't contain a /, then it must contain the backslashes. So now for this one, actually you need 4 backslashes for it to actually register as 2 backslashes, which then allow it to actually output the directories between 1 backslash really. So because what happens is with the backslash is this is an escape. So I don't think I mentioned this before, but with the backslash it has an escape. So for example, backslash can be used with n, and we know that's another line. So backslash is used for an escape, and if you want to have a backslash, you have to have 2 of them for it to register as 1. But for this case, we need to register it as 2, and we have to do it twice, so we can get it like this to look for 2 of these in the string to get those directories. And or rather the path that is passed. So that's why I have b/ plus b/. The next thing I want to talk about is I have an if-else statement here, and you'll notice down here I have an if-else statement, but it's shorthand, and obviously you can do it here, but that will not be readable. It would not be a good idea to use it here on this one. This is much easier to read. So, and as you can see, I have a comment here as well. So this is much easier to read like this, but for something like this, string slash, and I just want to get, if we're gonna output as a Windows format, then if it's, so you can see it checks the if-else statement. If 2 windows is true, that means it's going to be output as a Windows format, and we're going to use the b/, or otherwise use the f/. It's for Mac or Linux, Android, who knows. So it's for some other platform though. And that's it. So you can see the shorthand here is much easier and better than looking at something like this, just for something simple like this. So yeah, just consider readability. So path, basically just the path for each directory. Append, so I clear the path, make sure it's empty, and then I'm just going to add the directory name and then whatever slash for whatever the OS or platform that was chosen, so either Windows or non-Windows, whatever slash is going to be used for the format that's getting returned. And that's pretty much it. So that's it. it's pretty simple, and that's about, I think I covered everything for the refactoring wise. Basically I just wanted to show how I ended up the result. And this is what I came up with. So yeah, I did refactor, you know, add some. So another user developer that's working with this, they will get this Java doc in case they need that. And I'm not certain about the class. If this, like I said, you know, the refactoring can happen over time. Maybe this, you know, will evolve into something else. But for right now, this file should work just fine. And I'll just gonna show the test result and how I did that. So I'm gonna use the hotkey here. I have test set up for this method, and here it is. So as you can see here, it's actually really bright. You can hardly even read that, but it says total tests passed. Yeah, I can't even read it. 100%. So all the tests pass, and I have some system out just to show that. So I expected this for the 2 windows. I passed it the other format, so I'll show that. Here's my tests. As you can see, tests. I'm using JUnit, and I have 2 tests that I wanted to test for this. So I wanted to test the convert Mac to Windows, and as you can see, I'm going to pass it a Mac. Well, this should be convert other platform to Windows. Again, refactoring. So, because as you can see, it kind of doesn't really match. But yeah, so that should work just fine. And I'll go ahead and run that again. And yeah. So, anyways, so convert other platform to Windows. So that's the /. I'm going to pass it in as this with the /, and I'm expecting it to return something like this for Windows. And I'm going to say to Windows, true, yes, I want to convert it to Windows. So I have this actual. The actual actually is what the string that gets output here from that method. And then what it does is assert equals. So if the actual equals the expected, then that will give it a pass, otherwise it will fail it. And I did the same thing here, just the reverse. So it's not Windows. This is the format that I'm passing, and this is the format I expect back. And that's you know, just the same thing. So yeah, that's how that is. And I think that's it. That's going to be the that method, convert from the FilePathFormat class. And hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for watching.